Let us now take a look at a flowchart where we are going to find the factors of a number. Before we proceed to find the factors of a number, it is important to understand what do I mean by factors. Let us say I have a number like 10. So if I divide 10 by 1, the remainder is 0. If I divide 10 by 2, the remainder is 0. If I divide 10 by 3, remainder is not 0. 10 by 4, remainder is not 0. 10 by 5, remainder is 0. So 1, 2 and 5 are all factors of 10, whereas 3, 4 are not factors because when I divide 10 by 3 or 4, the remainder is not 0. So using the mod operator, I can get the remainder of dividing this denominator by whatever is on the numerator. Now, in order to go ahead and do this, I need to understand the different variables I require. The first variable I require is a variable called as n, where I am going to read the number. In my case, 10 is an example of a number I am going to read. Then I am going to start dividing this 10 starting from the number I is equal to 1. How long should I keep trying to divide the numerator by I? As long as the value of I is less than or equal to n by 2. Why am I using this condition? Because the last number which can divide 10 is 5. 6 cannot divide 10, 7 cannot divide 10. So the last number is 5, and that should be the terminating condition. Now based on this, let us try to do a flowchart. So what do I need? I need to initialize the value of I starting from 1 because that is the number I am going to start dividing from. I is 1. Then next what do I need is I need a number from the user. So I am going to say read n. So user is going to enter the value of n. Alright. Now once he or she enters the value of n, I should start dividing. But I told you in a repetition or looping flowchart, the first question you should ask is how long should I continue the process? I should continue as long as I is less than or equal to 1. So I am going to ask the question, is I less than or equal to n by 2? This can be true or this can be false. This is true and yes. This is false or no. If it is false, then all that I am going to do is I am going to stop dividing because I have found all the factors. Now let's see what we do here. If it is true or y, what I am going to do here is I need to do another decision box here. What is I am doing in this decision box is n mod I equal to 0. This can be true or this can be false. Okay, if it is true, what am I doing? I am printing the value of I. All right, I am printing the value of I. And if it is false, it doesn't mean I stop. I have to come here. Okay, and whether it's true or false, I need to increase the value of I by 1 because I need to check the divisibility by the next factor. Now let me first draw and then I shall go ahead and explain this logic to you. It's quite simple, so nothing to really worry about. The reason I did this is so that you understand that whenever there is multiple decision boxes, you should not be afraid of doing it. Okay, so let's say this is your logic. All right, let's take a number and let's go about it. Let's take n as 12 and I as 1. So once I read in n, I am reading n as 12. What is this condition? As long as I is less than or equal to n by 2. So 12 by 2 is 6. So I, as long as the value of I is between 1 and 6, I am going to divide I by 12. So 1 is less than or equal to 12. This is true. Then what I am doing is 12 mod 1, the remainder is 0 is true. So I am printing 1 on the output screen. Once I print 1 on the output screen, this should be false or no. 1 on the output screen, I need to increase the value of I by 1. I becomes 2. Then I go back here. I circle up and go back. I circle up and go back here. Is 2 less than or equal to 6? True. 12 mod 2 is equal to 0 is true. So I'm printing the value of I. The second factor happens to be 3. Sorry, 2. Then I come back here, increase the value of I by 1. I ends up becoming how much? I ends up becoming 3. 3 is still less than or equal to 6. 12 mod 3 is equal to 0 is true. So 3 is also a factor of 12. Then I am increasing I by 1 more. I becomes 4. 4 is less than or equal to 12. Sorry, 12 by 2. Yes. 12 mod 4 is 0 is true. So 4 is also a factor of 12. I'm printing that. I increase I by 1. It becomes 5. I go back here. 5 is less than or equal to 6. Yes. 12 mod 5 equal to 0, false. So I come here and I connect here. Don't connect it back here directly, because you need to increase the value of I by 1, whether the number is divisible by I or not. So once I increase the value of I by 1, I now ends up becoming 6. 6 is equal to 6, so we are still okay. 12 mod 6 equal to 0 is true. So now I am going to print 6. I ends up becoming 7. 7 is not less than or equal to 6. So I command alt. So I hope you've been able to make sense of this flow chart. I leave this screen for you so that you can draw a table like this, run through this flow chart to see whether you are getting the right answer for different factors. Take a number like 7. Being a prime number, the only factor is going to be 1. Take a number like 15. There will be many factors, 1, 3, 5, and so on. So this way you should understand how logic is developed. I am using one decision box after the other, and I am doing a loop so that this entire process is completed.